Hey guys, and welcome to the part 4 of the React.js beginner course. Well, in the part 4, we're going to learn something about props in React.js. So let's get started. So from the previous videos, we understood what is components and we built our own user defined component. Now, let's say we are obviously working with this component that is the user tile, and this user tile is returning certain data, and we are obviously rendering this component. But doesn't this look really weird, because when we are returning data of the user component, that is the user tile, it's only returning data of a single user, and that is so weird because when we are working with real data, we return data of different users on a large scale, not just a single user. And so there's something going on wrong over here. Basically, we need to provide input and arguments to our components, and that is how what helps us, that is props. And with the help of props, we can provide arguments to our code. So let's see how does that exactly work. So first things first, we need to specify over here inside the user tile our prop arguments. We first need to basically give the variable name. I am basically presenting the name and the person's age. So name is equal to Carl, and age in this case will be obviously 20. So I can specify these two values, name and age, which are my two prop arguments. Now let me go back to my user tile, and here is where in the argument section, I will call props, and instead of this static name Carl, I will use these curly brackets opening closing, and I will say props dot name, and age instead of this 20, again the curly braces, and within that I will say props dot age. Save this, and as you can see here, it is visible that Carl and age 20 is displaying, and here there's no such name present, and obviously the age also not present. That's pretty simple because we haven't provided the props to the next two components. So let's quickly do that. Let's think of certain names. Maybe let's give this a name of Alice, and this a name of Jack. And Alice is 25 years old and Jack is 30 years old. Save this, and now we get our next two data items. With this, we have some familiarities and some accessibility to our components, which actually gives it a component or a template like structure. Now, certain advantages of using components. Don't they look so clean, and you know what's your data actually getting represented? If it was for HTML, plain HTML and JavaScript, what you had to do is every time create HTML code. Like, you would have to create these div tags, and within those div tags, every time you had to mention the data. But here, what we do is we are simply just calling the component once, that is returning the HTML code, and within that component we are creating arguments, which we now formally call it as props, and everything is done in a systematic manner, and that is clean and easy to read for the program. So this is the application of props and why it is so useful when working with components. If you found this video helpful, don't forget to drop a like button and subscribe to the Akinon's YouTube channel for more fun and interesting videos.